It is a great joy and honor to come into your homes and your minds once again. This is Emmanuel Mensah, a co-founder of the Eagle Mentality Group. And at Eagle Mentality Group, we teach and propagate information about the power of thought, universal laws and principles, and how our thought, our thinking patterns, and our feelings comes together with these laws to create our realities. All human beings create their realities, be it individually or collectively. Once you establish a certain belief and you think along those lines, that becomes your reality with the help of the laws in the universe or the forces in the universe. And so our knowledge about this or ignorance about this doesn't make any difference, because there are a lot of things that as human beings we don't have knowledge about, but they are in existence. And as it is in our regular law life or in a legal profession, that ignorance about the law is no excuse. You see, humanity lived long before we began studying into what the phenomena that pins us to the ground is. And we discovered it as gravity. But those who lived in the cave era, in the Stone Age era, didn't actually understand gravity as we understand it today, you see. And so, but their lack of understanding of gravity at that time doesn't mean that gravity didn't exist operating on them, you see. And so it is with the universal truth that we create our own realities. And this is the time you have to become awakened to it and begin to organize your life accordingly. And so today I'm going to speak to you on the topic: progress is a mindset powered by the act of radical thinking. I repeat, progress is a mindset that is powered by radical thinking. But before I go on, may I just take this time to appeal to you to subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so, and also circulate this message of empowerment in your network, and let us all team up to bring this knowledge and understanding into our homes and community, our societies, that we will co-create favorable lives for our collective joy and happiness. If you have already done so, then we thank you in advance, or we thank you, and we just want to appreciate you. Without your support, we cannot go forward. And we know that together we can work together to create a life that we deserve. And so, progress is a mindset. Yesterday I spoke on technology, that is a mindset. Today I'm looking on progress. You see, everything that we are, everything that we experience, everything that we go through in our lives is a product of our mindset. Your mindset drives what you do or what you will not do. And what you do or what you don't do comes together to form your life. And so progress is impossible without the mindset of progressive thinking. And progressive thinking is simply radical thinking. If you don't think radical or in opposition, when I say radical thinking, I'm just talking of thinking against established traditions, established way of doing things, established conditions. Instead of accepting a particular condition, situation that is how it is, you rather rise up and think in opposition or think of something different from the situation you are going through. And then as you think of that different thing, and you infuse your consciousness, you infuse it with your consciousness, that thing begins to grow. And with the laws of the universe, the new thinking pattern takes over from the older one, you see. And so that is the only way we change our life circumstances. It's radical thinking, you see. But I just want to use a few examples in our normal lives. We don't call it radical thinking, but as a matter of fact, if you sit down and analyze it, we've been doing this all over. If you have an old building on a plot of land, and you want a newer building or a newer house, larger than what you already have, beautiful than what you already have, the only way you can achieve this is to pull the old one down and then start over. It's a radical thinking, because you are thinking against the normal way of, let us just leave it. Oh, it is okay. After all, this is good for us. But when we have this desire, we take this radical approach. We are ready to spend any amount of money to achieve that. That is radical thinking. It means you have something new, and therefore you are ready to forget the old one. So that is radical thinking. If we take even into the profession of agriculture, farming, every farmer understands this, that at the end of the harvest, the land must be cleared. It must be tilled, be prepared before new crops are sown. Farmers don't just say that, you know what? Oh, it started raining, so let us just begin sowing. Then they sow the new crops in the old leaves, dead leaves and other things that are on the land. No, they take a radical approach, clear old things, burn them, then they begin afresh. And so in life, if you are not ready to begin afresh, either to destroy the old one and to begin afresh, or to change the old one, infuse the old one with new ideas, new things, to recreate a newer version or a higher version of it, you will not progress. There will not be progress in your life, you see. And so progress is simply thinking radically, thinking in opposition of the current situation. When you are in a situation and you accept that that is how it is, it means you are a conformist. You are conforming to the situation, but that is not how you are supposed to operate. You are a God, you are a powerful human being, and therefore you are supposed to confront that challenge. Think in opposition of it. And then as you think about what you want to see in place of that, the newer one takes over, and then the older one goes. And so it is about we releasing the old patterns and then accepting new patterns. That is radical thinking, to think differently from what you used to do, you say. And this is the only way that progress comes. Every human being that has created anything that we call revolutionary, wonderful, beautiful, great, went through this process. This is the road, this is the path that they took to achieve that feat. And so when a group of people are not seeing this in their life, it means they are not abreast with how life goes. And that is having the mindset of progressive living, progressive life. And that is to think radically, always thinking in the opposition of the current situation, with the mind of bringing new things into your life, you see. And as a matter of fact, if we are to talk of radical thinking, every inventor, everyone that has come up with any ideas that we see today was a radical thinker and is still a radical thinker. Think of the situation, think of what the Wright brothers went through in their days at that time. Two young men getting up and tell people, everyone, that we're going to make people fly in an object. Do you know the humiliation that they received? People laughed at them because they were thinking in opposition of the normal way of thinking of human beings at that time. But they saw something different. So you got to be radical. For us to be progressive, we have to be radical in thinking. I'm not talking of radical thinking in negativity, but in the positive and constructive way. And so we see different worlds in one world that we live in. Some are progressing and some are not. And as our focus is on Africa, I'm going to speak on Africa in relation to other worlds. Africans don't have this progressive thinking. We lack this radical thinking. The first thing we'll be told is that this is how we do it. This is how our forefathers have done it. And therefore, who are you for you to come and change what our forefathers has established? And therefore, we hold on to that. Then we sit in that mindset and then expecting a newer version of life. It doesn't work that way. Until we begin to think over or in opposition to what we already have, with the determination that we are looking for a newer version of life, we will not see anything. You see, progress is simply radical thinking, challenging the old order, challenging the old things that you had, whatever situation that you are going through, however painful it is, with a determination that you want to bring something new, more higher than what you are already seeing, you see. And so you've got to be radical in thinking. Whatever situation, whatever condition, whatever thing that you are going through, it is a product of your mindset. And as soon as you change your mindset from conformist or conformism to a radical or radicalism, a radical thinker who is always scanning through his or her own environment, his or own situation, looking for opportunities, looking for ways to bring new things, change into his life and other people's life, then that we can progress. Anyone that conforms, anyone that holds on to tradition, anyone that holds on to older things doesn't go forward, because you are going against the laws of nature. We are evolving. You see. And so Africa's underdevelopment is not as a result of any other person coming to exploit us. No. Whoever comes to exploit us, whoever we think has done anything to us, are only actors in the scheme of things that the universe has brought to complete a process to make our thinking, our line of thinking, a reality. If we change and begin to think deliberately and begin to envision, begin to, see things that we want to experience in our life momentarily, and only concentrate on those things, even though they are not physical right now, our line of thinking, our pattern of thinking will manifest in our lives. That is how this universe was created, and that is how the universe has expanded to where we are. No human being has ever seen God bringing cars, skyscrapers, and other things into this world. All these things that we are seeing in other parts that we call advanced world came through the minds of people, but they were thinking radically against the existing conditions. The one who brought about skyscrapers, they thought against the conventional way of thinking of erecting a building high up to maybe 45, 50 levels. It's unheard of in some generation. But in our generation, it is practical. It is because some people thought radically. They didn't conform to what they were seeing, but they rose over it. And then as they saw what they want to create in their mind, it became a reality. So it is with our lives, all Africans, wherever we are, we have to start thinking in opposition of our current situation. Whatever we are going through is an old show. It was created by our own patterns of thoughts and the universal laws that governs us. It is now being shown to us. If we want to see a different life, a better version of life that we have now, then we got to be radical. And to be radical, I mean think of the things that you want to see, even though you are not holding it in your hands, even though you are experiencing something different. Do not let your current circumstances. Do not let your current situation deceive you to think that it is real. The more you continue to think and affirming it and talking about it, the more it entrenches in your life. So you go to be radical. To be radical is to will yourself, to think of only what you want to see, what you want to bring into this world, what you want to bring into your life as a blessing to yourself. And that becomes progress, you see. So progress is a mindset. And as a matter of fact, it is governed by radical thinking. And radical thinking is simply thinking in search of change. Change is the hallmark of progress. There can never be progress without the introduction of change. And so the idea that we want to go back to our old ways of life is a false premise, and it's a false way of thinking. It is never possible because we are higher versions of the older order or the older generation, you see. But the only thing we have to do is how can we better, how can we create a higher version of what we already have. That is the way forward, you see. And so this is possible only when we are ready to introduce change. Change is not possible without the introduction of new ideas, new way of thinking, new way of doing things. Change is not possible without the introduction of new mindset. And so this is the new mindset. And the bedrock of this new mindset is that you are a creator, you are a God on earth here, and you are creating your own realities. And therefore, whatever we are going through, individually and collectively as a group of people, is our own creation by the way or by means of our thinking patterns, our thoughts, and our beliefs. So let us now introduce new ways, new versions of beliefs and thinking patterns and dwell on them. And as we do that, they will manifest in our lives as our future, which will be of a higher version of what we are having now. So progressive living is a mindset, and my determination is to bring this awakening to your homes and your minds. You see, the job I am doing is not only my job alone, but I started this journey with my late wife, Helen Mensah, and I am doing this as inspiration and in honor of my dear wife, who is now in the other world. But we know that we have a role to play in your life, and that is why we are bringing this message to you. Africa is at the leading edge of human development, human evolution, but we will not complete, or this will not be a reality. We will not fulfill our role if we don't take up the radical mindset, the belief and the understanding that progress is only possible only when we change our mind, when we hold the right mindset, the right mental attitude, and we act deliberately with the determination of creating a new way, a new life for ourselves and all the people around us. And as we do that, we become part of humanity that is moving the whole world, the whole universe forward. We are here to play a part, but we are not here to be observer. So stop being a conformist. Stop being, throw away your mindset of protecting old things. Preserving traditions. It's good to know all those things. But what is more important right now is creating a better life, a better future for ourselves and our generation to come. That is my message for you. And I believe you will have this awakening and you will team up with us for us to go on this journey such that our countries, our continent in general will be transformed into a newer version as a reflection of the newer ideas, the newer mindset, the newer attitude of the African people. And we will take our rightful place in the universe. You will know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. Before I sign off, let me just once again remind you that please do well to subscribe to our channel. And also, those of you who have already subscribed, Let us continue to listen and let us spread the word. And we know with the presence of God in and around us, our dream has already been achieved. Thank you and God bless you.